Howdy folks, and welcome back to another edition of Love in Action Daily Boost program. I'm Dr. Flo, not telling you what I heard, but what I know. What I know is that you're loved and lovable. You've always been loved and lovable, and you're always going to be loved and lovable for the rest of your life. Every day in Love in Action Network, we encourage, equip, and empower bold dreamers to follow their bliss by using their time, talent, and treasure for the making of good trouble on the planet. And that good trouble includes living your dreams. Give me 1 second to share this out to our WhatsApp community. They're always looking for my flares. If you're not a member yet of our WhatsApp community, I would encourage you to get in where you fit in. It is a blessing to be alive and to be able to live our dreams. Week 43 in our network is all about festivals of love, exploring cultural festivals centered on love. I also saw you come in under your other account, Tara. Shout out to our friends over at Lady Slipper Ensemble and Tara Praolo Studio, who supports them, loved and lovable. That's amazing. And also Healthy, Wealthy, Divine Society. Shout out to you today. It's so good to see you. You're loved and lovable. We're talking about cultural festivals centered around love, and you are a walking festival. I haven't seen you in a while. Where have you been? I'm in a live podcast taping, but shout out to B in New York. Unique New York. Unique New York. It's good to see you. We have been moved off of Clubhouse, and we're doing private sessions now. So if you want a key or a ticket to that, you can either go through the website or just send me a link, and I'll put you into the right spaces so you can come and connect with the crowd. We've been having a blast. We really have been. Part of the people who showed up this morning, this was one of the, all your favorites there. Just hanging out. Nisi, Ryan, Poppy Wata, myself, and Tara. So if you want a ticket, it's done on Google Meet, and I can put it right on your calendar for you. Just send me a private DM letting me know that you're still in to the Soul family, and I'll be happy to get you into the space. We love you so much and your free spirit. We really, really do. You are amazing. You're loved and lovable, and you know I can't even change it if I tried, child. So, we're going to be exploring love, unity, and celebration today, and we're going to be doing it through the framework of the third eye chakra. And the third eye chakra, it's all about the vision of unity. It is your wisdom, insight, and sacred awareness through celebration. And we got an enthusiastic yes. So I can't wait to see B very soon in the space, because she loves to carry on for love. Here are today's reflection questions as the sun bakes me to a crisp. What deeper meaning do festivals of love hold beyond the surface festivities? What deeper meaning do festivals of love hold beyond the surface festivities? How do global love celebrations reflect humanity's shared spiritual truths? How do global love celebrations reflect humanity's shared spiritual truths? It's very hot. Oh my God, it's very hot. Whew. When have you witnessed love as a unifying force across differences? When have you witnessed love as a unifying force across differences? I felt like one of those ants under a magnifying glass. That was crazy. When have you witnessed love as a unifying force across differences? One of the most recent witnessing of this has been my friends over at the grocery store across the street. People from all different kinds of backgrounds sharing hugs and joy and shared embrace. Meeting Grace in Aldi a few days ago. and exchanging love. That's a unifying force across differences. I'm not interested in any way in marine biology, but they are, and we're very different, and love is the unifying force. Question number 4. When have past celebrations taught you about the divine patterns of life? What have past celebrations taught you about the divine patterns of life? It's what? What have past celebrations taught you about the divine patterns of life? How does intuition guide you towards moments of true joy and connection? How does intuition guide you toward moments of true joy and connection? My intuition tells me that people want to gather. They may act like they're antisocial. They may act like they're too good for everybody else. They may act like they're too busy or too important or too tired or overwhelmed. But my intuition and the receipts show me that people want true joy and connection in their lives, and Dr. Flo is one of the many humans that wants to give it to them. Songs, smiles, support, and shenanigans. We are full of it. We are full of it, especially the shenanigans. What visions for global unity or healing arise when you reflect on love-centered festivals? I keep hearing somebody over my shoulder creeping on me. And it's Sam the squirrel. I'm like, who is walking over in the leaves? It's Sam. What visions for global unity or healing arise when you reflect on love-centered festivals? Dr. Flo and the Love Experience is going to be a love-centered festival that happens all the time for people. How do sacred symbols like fire, water, or flowers help you see love's universal language? How do sacred symbols like fire, water, or flowers help you see love's universal language? What ancient or modern festival most embodies your vision of divine harmony? What ancient or modern festival most embodies your vision of divine harmony? How can you see every relationship as a celebration of spiritual growth? What about Coachella? Oh, is that Coachella? The question to the answer to number 8. What ancient or modern festival most embodies your vision of divine harmony? I would say, well, see, Coachella is so, I love you too. Coachella is so commercial. But I mean, that's your answer, right? I was thinking about Burning Man, but so many people unalive at Burning Man. Some people go to Burning Man and don't come back. I watch too many Netflix specials to believe that these mainstream festivals are safe. And then there was a fire festival where the people ended up getting like a air sandwich. There was no meat. It was just tomatoes, lettuce, and cheese on a couple pieces of bread. What ancient or modern festival most embodies your vision of divine harmony? For me, okay, yes. Are you into that? What's your favorite kind of Jesus juice? It's good to see you, Brandy. I haven't seen you in a while. You're one of my Threads friends. Today has been a reunion online of all of my favorite people and new strangers over on TikTok and Instagram. I have seen the people today. I wonder what's going on in the cosmos. I've seen some of my favorite strangers and friends on the internet today. Grace, Payo, Bree, Nell Brandy, Denise, Tara, Poppy, Angie. I've seen a bunch of amazing humans today. Online, of all places. None of us live in the same zip code. Beyond my partner Poppy and I. And wow, something's going on in the cosmos today. The people are coming together for love. It's really freaking fantastic. For me, there is a hugging saint named Amma. Look her up, A-M-M-A. She travels all over the world with her devotees and her volunteers. And she has given out millions of hugs on the planet. She is an Indian hugging saint. And you can go and get your tickets and you line up and then they usher you through and she just gives divine hugs to everybody. I waited for 7 hours one time in New York City for a hug from this lady. I took a day off from work and I went and I ate the food at the festival, and then I waited till they called my number, and then I got in line, and they put me on my knees. I went up to her, and then she hugged me for about 10 seconds and then she let me go. But she's done that with millions of people, regardless of backgrounds, regardless of faiths, regardless of skin color, socioeconomic status. This lady, A-M-M-A, Amma, she's an earth hugging saint. She has hugged millions of people, and being in a space that was dedicated to hugs and joyful and warm embrace, because there was music going and there was food going, just being in a space where the center was love and hugs was one of the most amazing experiences of my life. I don't think I'll ever forget it, and it's part of what I'm trying to create with Dr. Flo and the Love Experience, and we are so close. Second and last question was, how can you see every relationship as a celebration of spiritual growth? And then the last question is, what wisdom about love do you carry that the world needs to remember? What wisdom about love do you carry that the world needs to remember? I know and I understand and I understand that while the world and the media and the oligarchs and the people in quote unquote power, while they try to convince us that there's not enough resources and there's not enough time, if you haven't had 5 children by the time you're 30, if you haven't gotten your master's degree by 25, if you haven't climbed the corporate ladder by 30, if you haven't gotten married by this time, if you haven't bought your house by this certain time, if you haven't gone on vacation by this certain time, all of these rules that try to dictate scarcity and not enoughness and this propaganda of unworthiness. What I know about love is that love is infinite. My wisdom about love leads me to believe that it's infinite in its supply, that it is the answer, and that joy, unspeakable joy, is the key. Love is the answer. No matter what you're going through today, I don't care what your suffering is. And trust me, the Buddha taught me more than Jesus. Jesus actually suffered, allegedly. But the Buddha taught me that all of life is suffering. And that we all suffer in our own special way. I don't care who you are, what you look like, how much money you make, where you went to school, what car you drive, if you drive a car, where you live. Everybody is suffering in some way. You don't get out of life without a certain degree of suffering. And the antidote to suffering in all of its forms is the abundance of love. The abundance of love. And then people naturally go, well, if you believe there's so much love, Dr. Flo, here goes Dr. Flo with all the love. He's always talking about love. I want to be miserable. I want to complain. I want to talk about what I don't have. I want to talk about what scares me. There's a whole festival of frightening things. It makes Halloween look like literal child's play. The suffering parades and the fear mongering in our family and friend groups and in the world. There's just such a fear vibration that but here comes Dr. Flo talking about love as the antidote for the poisoning of fear, because fear is a poison, and finding things to be scared of or hyperfixating on things to be scared of is a poison. So the antidote for that poison of fear and scary things is love. Love is the answer. And then people go, well, how do I tap into more love in my life? And that's why I say love is the answer and joy is the key that unlocks the door. If you can find something in your life, just one or two things daily that bring you joy, and then if you can find those things that bring you joy, and then you can choose to steep yourself, and it's a choice, to steep yourself in gratitude for the joys in your life, especially the simple joys, like the barilla that is slow cooking in the house, and it's going to be done at around 6 p.m. Eastern. You all are invited over for dinner. All of you globally are invited over for dinner. Come on over, have some fresh barilla tacos and nachos and beans and rice. Oh, you're all invited. Even though my my partner's mom would freak out. She and he and the family that I have been called into as a divine assignment, they are so shy. They are so shy. They are so shy. I am the Broadway star. I am the connector. I am the international worship pastor. I am the international spiritual leader. That's me. That's Waheguru. That's me. But my partner and his sisters and the mom, if everybody came over to the house to eat, they would be mortified. It's not funny. It's not funny. You gotta remember, I used to have like 20 people smashed into my New York apartment at the same time. Everybody talking at the top of their lungs and laughing and dancing and having fun. I really am an expansive, I've got a big aura, a big love thing going on, because like I told you, love is the answer, fellowship, community is the answer, and joy is the key. If you want to tap into some awesome in your life, be grateful for the simple joys that you have, like barilla tacos. I cannot wait for it to just pull apart with the onions and stuff. What sounds cool for 30 minutes? This is a live taping. Thank y'all for listening over on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and YouTube, and Substack. Tara Praola, one of our architects of the network, is here. I think that she's talking about being social for 30 minutes and then needing to leave. I told you, I used to be the host of a dinner club, a supper club. It was the Dr. Flo Supper Club. And everyone would have to bring a ingredient. And it was a blast, though. You could come for 30 minutes and leave. You may not get food that way because everybody, like, if we were doing tacos as a theme, one person would bring tomatoes intentionally, one person would bring kale, one person would bring lettuce, one person would bring onions, and then we couldn't start making the dish until everyone got to the apartment. And then we'd make it all together in fellowship, then we'd eat together, and then you could leave. But the cooking and the arrival of people would often take probably like an hour itself. So if you're not super social, you would have been miserable. And that's okay. Joy is the antidote. Love is the antidote. Gratitude for community would have got you together. There were times where I would go to the bed and go to sleep while people were in my house and wait for my sneaky link to stop by after his show. There were several times that the party would start, I go lay down and take a power nap because y'all know that I am president of the local nap ministry. No matter what state I'm in, I'm president of the local nap ministry. And I'd go take a quick little nap and then wait for my sneaky link to arrive. And then after my sneaky link would arrive from Broadway, amazing body, amazing everything. Oh, amazing everything. Like my husband now, just gifted in all of the ways that matter. And then after my sneaky link would arrive, we'd fellowship all together in the second party. Tara would have already been gone by then. And then I would shoo them out of my apartment so that I could have the third party, which was a private party, often without clothes, which other people wanted to be invited to. But let me tell you something. The more people that you have relations with, folks, the more relationships you have. And I was always like, it's not that I didn't have experiences with multiple partners at the same time. I've had plenty of those, but it always, like, all of those personalities at once. Good Lord. And while love is the answer, joy is the key, and gratitude is the gateway, I'll pass. Thanks for tuning in today. You probably got more than what you wanted to get, but we have tons of people that listen to the podcast and watch live and tune in. And the squirrel is still here having lunch. On behalf of all of us in Love and Action Network and our architects, Tara Olo Studio, Poppy Water 33, and myself, Ask Dr. Phil on all platforms. Thank you for tuning in today. Stay in your power, stay in your joy, stay loved and lovable, and we'll see you very, very soon around our fantastic network. Have a great day. I feel fantastic. Peace.